Bhutan, a small Himalayan kingdom, is known for its rich culture, stunning landscapes, and unique approach to happiness. Here are 10 secrets about Bhutan that may surprise you. 1. Gross national happiness, GNH.
To development, gross national happiness, or GNH. Back in the 1970s, our first king famously pronounced that for Bhutan, gross national happiness is more important than gross national product. Ever since, all development in Bhutan is driven by GNH, a pioneering vision that aims to improve the happiness and well-being of our people. But that's easier said than done, especially when you're one of the smallest economies in the world.
Bhutan is famous for its concept of gross national happiness, GNH, which prioritizes the well-being and happiness of its people over economic growth. The government uses GNH as a metric for policies, focusing on sustainable development, cultural preservation, and environmental conservation. 2. The Last Shangri-La.
Bhutan is a small country in the Himalayas. We've been called Shangri-La, even the last Shangri-La.
Bhutan is often called the Last Shangri-La due to its remote location and pristine environment. It's one of the few places that has remained relatively untouched by modern industrialization and commercialization, preserving its unique culture and natural beauty. 3. Bhutan has no traffic lights. The capital city, Thimphu, is the only capital in the world without traffic lights. Instead, traffic is managed by police officers who manually direct traffic at major intersections. This reflects Bhutan's slower, more relaxed pace of life. 4. Strict tourism regulations. Bhutan limits the number of tourists who can visit each year in order to preserve its culture and environment. Tourists must book through an approved tour operator, and there's a daily fee that includes accommodation, food, transportation, and a guide. This strategy helps maintain quality over quantity in tourism. 5. Tiger's Nest Monastery, Paro Takseng. Bhutan's most iconic site, the Tiger's Nest Monastery, clings to the cliffs of the Paro Valley at a height of 10,000 feet. According to legend, Guru Rinpoche, Padmasambhava, flew to the site on the back of a tiger, which is why the monastery is named Tiger's Nest. 6. Bhutan was the last country to embrace TV. Bhutan was the last country in the world to introduce television, which happened in 1999. The decision to introduce TV was carefully considered by the government to prevent the negative impact of external media on the traditional culture. 7. Unique dress code. Bhutan has a national dress code. Both men and women are required to wear traditional Bhutanese clothing in public. Men wear a go, a robe tied with a belt, and women wear a kira, a long dress wrapped around the body. The attire symbolizes respect for the nation's culture and heritage. 8. Bhutan is carbon negative.
In a world that is threatened with climate change, we are a carbon neutral country. Turns out it's a big deal. Of the 200-odd countries in the world today, it looks like we are the only one that's carbon neutral. Actually, that's not quite accurate. Bhutan is not carbon neutral. Bhutan is carbon negative. Our entire country generates 2.2 million tons of carbon dioxide. But our forests, they sequester more than 3 times that amount. So we are a net carbon sink for more than 4 million tons of carbon dioxide each year. But that's not all.
Bhutan is one of the few countries in the world to be carbon negative. The country absorbs more carbon dioxide through its forests than it emits. Thanks to its massive forest coverage, over 70% of the land is forested. This makes Bhutan a global leader in environmental conservation. 9. A limited number of highways. Bhutan has only one national highway, the East-West Highway, which connects the country from north to south. The country's mountainous terrain makes the development of roads challenging, and the limited infrastructure adds to the country's isolation. 10. The king's love for the people. The Bhutanese king, Jigme Khaesar Namgyel Wangchuk, is deeply loved by the people. He is known for his humility and for personally visiting villages, often on foot or by motorcycle, to ensure the well-being of his citizens. He has worked hard to modernize the country while preserving its cultural traditions. These are just a few of the many secrets that make Bhutan such a unique and fascinating